What if I told you that Lori Vallow's beliefs aren't just hers? What if I told you that translated beings is taught in the Mormon Church? What if I told you the Church of the Firstborn is the cause for every offshoot of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints? What if I told you that everything that we have heard in the media is from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints? Would you view Chad and Lori Daybell any differently? Would Charles, Tammy, JJ, Tylee, and Joseph still be here today? Well, let me start my camera. What's up? Hey, everybody. How's it going? How are you guys doing? I had it on full screen, so yeah. I was like, after a little bit, I was like, oh yeah, there's the toolbar. I can just go and view and see what they're saying. Hey, Janet, how you doing? Hey, Leanne, Kathy, Julie Thompson, AJ, Janet. I think I already said that. Oh, I did. Rhonda Gaines, Harley 62. How you doing? Gloria Fritz. How's it going? Oh, damn hair. Hey, Tom Vaughn. How's it going? I'm so awkward. Wendy Bastings. How's it going? Good to have you. Trace on the case. Moderators, Jennifer, Leanne, Kathy, Beach Mom, and Trace on the case. Kathy, did I say them? Oh, I suck at it. told y'all I hit live and then it just goes. I get all awkward. Hey Linda, how you doing? Door Opinion, good to see ya. And Sugar Butt Starburst in the house. Philly. Ron Hensley, how's it going? Hey Rombo, good to see you. San Willow, good to see you too. Oh, now I'm trying to read comments. I'll be here forever. I feel like I'm forgetting or passing. Hey, Moonlight View, good to see you. Good to have you here. Scrolling. Hey, Tina Reddington. Hey, KJ. I've got you're playing right there. I had to turn it down. I was like, oh, I got to turn it down before I go live. Thank you for the compliment about the graphics. It was by chance. I just accidentally made that video. Pretty cool. Hey, Rosem. How you doing? K-Tech. Good to see you. Hey, Moira. Jackie Blue. Zero. Carrie Ann, how's it going? I think it's Denial Lanai. Little Brands. Okay, God. Oh, thank you. Thank you. You always make me blush. But thank you. I appreciate it. And everything you do. Yeah, and Miss Mary, too. I had, when you did that little short of her with her KJ mug, I screen recorded it. Hey, thank you. Thank you for becoming a member. Thank you for supporting this channel. Thank you for supporting my cause, my purpose in this. It takes a village, right? That is for sure, especially with these idiots. Thank you. Hi, Ash. Oh, I was just scrolling there while I was talking, so if I missed you, I'm sorry. I really. Hey, Becky Slaughter, Pink Volo, Julie. I think I already said Julie Thompson, but welcome again. Corky S, KJ, sending a ray of love. I'm to that now. Nancy Prater. Hey, Nancy. He's doing okay as far as I know. Jason talked to him the other day. My brother, Todd. I'm glad to have you here. Sand. Rhonda, how you doing? Dragon Class Diamond Art. That sounds like a pretty cool channel, actually. First Ladybug, how you doing? They say that ladybugs are good luck. Bring it. Y'all know I'm thirsty. Hey, Anita Killer. I never throw away my spaghetti jars. Anyways, I say never, but I hate throwing away things that, I used to paint them. I used to do all kinds of stuff, but let's not go there. So, there were a lot of documents that Kathy sent me Friday from Eric. Breaking, oh no, changed it to the docket chasing paper, or however it goes. I don't even know. I tried tagging him I posted all of, one entire PDF. Yeah, because you can only upload 5 images at a time. So I did 2 per page. Anyways, it's on the community wall, and then I have to upload the other one. That one I had to edit it a little bit, and there's only so many hours in a day. So that went away. But I figured, and I have a reader. I pay for a reader. It's one of the yearly $139 damn dollars. I better get some use out of it. So if y'all don't mind, I will utilize my reader so that y'all know I botch things up and it's not fun. So we can kind of just gouge through that a little bit. And I have it. Let me turn things on. Thank you, San. Thank you. That is very nice. Always. Thank you. Man, y'all get me every time. And I appreciate it. I really do. If I don't tell you, I just, you guys rock. What was I going to do? Reader. Speechify. Not endorsed. That's just the name of the app. Let's see. We can do Snoop Dogg's voice. We can do Obama. There's the British fella. There's all kinds of things, all kinds of voices on here. And it's kind of funny. I told Jason earlier, I was like, we're going to listen to Snoop Dogg.
90%. Connected to precious iPhone. Connected to iPad.
Oh, okay.
The doc chasing paper.
Okay. All right. Just want to make sure it was connected. And that way I can, then I have to get to the beginning of this.
The district
No.
In the district court of...
They're not listening. Okay. Now let me go pull the document up. Let me see here. This one is this one. The district. It's no, it's not this one. It's the other one, of course. Of course it is. I'm sorry, I didn't cover my face, so it looks like I'm just staring into the camera, but I'm not. I'm reading my desktop. Let's see. So let's try this one. Objection. Okay, so this, let me share this screen. And then I gotta go back over here and hide. Okay. Okay, here. So I'm just gonna let my reader play, and I'm gonna scroll back here. So I'm not gonna be able to see comments because I'll be scrolling. But like to hear it? Here it goes.
In the District Court of the 7th Judicial District of the State of Idaho, in and for the County of Fremont, State of Idaho, Plaintiff versus Chad Guy Daybell, Defendant. Case no.
Yeah.
State's objection and brief in support of objection to defendant's motion to dismiss the indictment or to preclude the imposition of the death penalty. Comes now the State of Idaho. By and through undersigned counsel and hereby submits the following objection and memorandum in support of objection to the defendant's motion to dismiss the indictment or preclude the imposition of the death penalty filed on February 10, 2023 based on the following factual and procedural background. On May 24, 2021, a grand jury returned a single indictment against the defendants, Chad Daybell and Vallow Daybell, containing a total of 9 criminal charges relating to the murders of Tylee Ryan, J.J. Vallow and Tamara Daybell. Specifically, the indictment charges both defendants with 1 count of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder and grand theft by deception wherein Tylee Ryan is the victim, 1 count of first-degree murder. State's objection and brief in support of objection to defendant's motion to dismiss the indictment or to preclude the imposition of the death penalty. 1. Electronically filed, February 16, 2023, 4:29 p.m. 7th Judicial District, Fremont County, Abbey, by Becky, the doc chase attorneys for the state, wherein Tylee Ryan is the victim. 1 count of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder and grand theft by deception wherein J.J. Vallow is the victim. 1 count of first-degree murder wherein J.J. Vallow is the victim. And 1 count of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder wherein Tamara Daybell is the victim. In addition, defendant Vallow Daybell is charged with 1 count of grand theft wherein the United States government is the victim due to defendant Vallow Daybell receiving Social Security funds intended for the care of Tylee Ryan and J.J. Vallow. Defendant Chad Daybell has additional charges of 1 count of first-degree murder wherein Tamara Daybell is the victim, and 2 counts of insurance fraud for the receipt of life insurance proceeds for Tamara Daybell's death. On June 9, 2021, The defendant was arraigned in the presence of his counsel on all his charges in the indictment and entered not guilty pleas to all charges. Due to a stay in her case, defendant Vallow Daybell was not arraigned until April 19, 2022. On July 18, 2022, the state filed a motion and brief regarding consumptive DNA testing of samples of materials located on J.J. Vallow's body. Due to the small amount of the samples, and the likelihood of consumption in testing such evidence, these samples were set aside since the co-defendant's case was stayed. This was done to allow both defendants the opportunity to analyze and establish a position with regard to the request for consumptive testing. Once the defendants agreed, the parties entered into a stipulation regarding the testing of such evidence, and the court signed an order to that effect on August 15, 2022. In late December 2022, state lab personnel notified the prosecution team that during the stipulated testing process additional hairs were removed from the testing sample, which might have potential evidentiary value. However, the state lab had limited ability to test this evidence, and was unable to retrieve any usable DNA evidence. Defense counsel was immediately
Additional
hair collection contacted, and based on the timeline of the additional hair collection, the state located and secured a private lab which could test such items on an expedited basis. On January 25, 2023, the parties entered into a new stipulation regarding the consumptive testing of such items by the private lab. In late January 2023, the prosecution team found that papers reflecting tips collected from the public in 2019 and 2020 during the search for J.J. Vallow and Tylee Ryan had not been copied and provided to either the state or the defense. While various reports had been made and disclosed to defense about the relevant tips investigated, not all tips had been disclosed. The individual slips of paper for the public tips in the possession of the Rexburg Police Department was provided to the defense on or about February 8, 2023. Papers from Rexburg Police Department totaled 1,188 pages, including a 92-page document summarizing the tips in list form and the individual tip sheets. See attached Exhibit 1 Tip Analysis. On August 9, 2021, the defendants were advised of the existence of the electronic devices seized during the January 3, 2020 search of the defendant's home. Counsel were notified of the contents of the electronic devices, as well as that the electronic devices were available for inspection and copying as required by I.C.R. 16B 4. All reports on the seizure of these items was disclosed. Multiple disclosures reminded the defendants that the items were available for review. At this point, neither defendant has requested, nor attempted to make any arrangements to review the devices or their contents. The prosecutor's duty to disclose is governed by I.C.R. 16, the Due Process Clause, case law, and the Idaho Rules of Professional Conduct. The applicable section of Idaho Criminal Rule 16 is subsection A, which requires the state's objection and brief in support of objection to defendant's motion to dismiss the indictment or to preclude the imposition of the death penalty. Mandatory disclosure of evidence which tends to negate the guilt of the accused. Specifically, I.C.R. 16A provides as follows. A. Mandatory disclosure of evidence and material by the prosecution, as soon as practicable after the filing of charges against the accused. The prosecuting attorney must disclose to defendant or defendant's counsel any material or information in the prosecuting attorney's possession or control, or that later comes into the prosecuting attorney's possession or control, that tends to negate the guilt of the accused as to the offense charged or that would tend to reduce the punishment for the offense. The prosecuting attorney's obligations under this paragraph extend to material and information in the possession or control of members of the prosecuting attorney's staff and of any others who have participated in the investigation or evaluation of the case who either regularly report, or have reported in that case, to the office of the prosecuting attorney. The prosecuting attorney must also disclose the general nature of evidence of other crimes, wrongs, or acts it intends to introduce at trial as required by Rule 404B of the Idaho Rules of Evidence. In addition to the duties of a prosecutor under the rules of discovery, a prosecutor is bound by due process and ethical considerations. Due process requires all material exculpatory evidence known to the state or in its possession be disclosed to the defendant. Stevens v. State, 156 Idaho 396. However, the state does not have a general constitutional duty to provide a complete and detailed accounting of all police investigatory work to defense on a case. Dunlap v. State, 141. Nor is a prosecutor required to disclose evidence the prosecutor does not possess or evidence of which the prosecutor could not reasonably be imputed to have knowledge or control. Queen.
In addition,
Several jurisdictions have concluded that the due process requirements imposed by Brady do not place an affirmative duty on the prosecution to seek out information for the defense. See Lovett v. holding that the duty imposed by Brady did not cross jurisdictional lines. United States, noting that prosecutors are not usually required to seek out information not in their possession. Towles v. holding that the district attorney cannot be deemed to have constructive possession, nor is it appropriate to. State's objection and brief in support of impute knowledge of an FBI report when there was no cooperation between those governmental agencies in that case. Sears v. State 268 GA, and concluding that the state is not required to provide to the defense the confidential out-of-state juvenile records of a state witness, when those records are not a part of the state's file, and even if that information is more accessible by the state. People v. affirming no Brady violation where a 14-year-old out-of-state misdemeanor conviction record of the complainant was not in the people's possession at the time of trial, and concluding that they were not required to affirmatively seek it out. Id. 505 to 506. The court in Queen ultimately held a conclusion that Brady does not place an affirmative duty on the state to seek out information for the defense is consistent with Idaho law. Queen at 506. The Idaho Rules of Professional Conduct also note the special responsibilities of a prosecutor. A prosecutor in a criminal case shall make timely disclosure to the defense of all evidence or information known to the prosecutor that tends to negate the guilt of the accused or mitigates the offense, and, in connection with sentencing, disclose to the defense and to the tribunal all unprivileged mitigating information known to the prosecutor, except when the prosecutor is relieved of this responsibility by a protective order of the tribunal, IRPC 3.8d. However, as required by the criminal discovery rules, this exculpatory information only pertains to evidence or information known to the prosecutor. This is consistent with due process and case law regarding the interpretation of the constitutional responsibilities required of a prosecutor when dealing with exculpatory or mitigating information. The ABA opinion on a prosecutor's duty to disclose evidence and information favorable to the defense also notes the importance of the knowledge requirement, providing that knowledge means actual knowledge, which may be inferred from the circumstances. However, this duty does not include an obligation to undertake an investigation in search of evidence or information favorable to the accused that may possibly exist, nor does it require an exhaustive copy of all documents or
devices in the
state's possession. The prosecutor is not required to deliver his entire file to defense counsel. United States v. Bagley. Certain documents or tangible objects may be of a nature that requires defense counsel to view/inspect or photograph or make a copy of it. This process complies with the duty under I.C.R. 16. Sanctions for discovery violations can encompass a number of options. However, analysis regarding Brady violations typically occurs in a post-conviction setting upon review of the case law. Discovery violations occurring prior to or during trial require the district court to consider other remedies. Witness exclusion for a discovery violation is an extreme remedy. State v. Albert, 138. When considering evidence that was not timely disclosed, a district court is obligated to also consider less severe, such as a short continuance, a mistrial, or imposition of sanctions on defense counsel, that might. State v. Saxton, 133. Idaho 546. 500. Setting aside whether there have in fact been discovery violations. A request to dismiss the indictment for disclosures provided prior to the discovery deadline, but later than defense counsel would like, is an even more extreme remedy for evidence disclosed prior to trial. The suppression of material evidence helpful to the accused, whether at trial or on a motion to suppress, violates due process if there is a reasonable probability that, had the evidence been disclosed, the result of the proceeding would have been different. C. Brady, 307.
Such a due
process violation may be cured, however, by belated disclosure of evidence, so long as the disclosure occurs at a time when disclosure would be of value to the accused. United States v. Span, 970 F.2d 500. State's objection and brief in support of objection to defendant's motion serve as an alternative to excluding the evidence. 2. Application of the prosecutor's duty to disclose to the underlying case. First, as noted in the defendant's motion to dismiss, we are dealing with additional discovery items in 3 categories. A. Tips provided to law enforcement during the search for Tylee Ryan and J.J. Vallow. B. Devices seized from the defendant's residence on January 3, 2020. See additional DNA evidence that lab analysts obtained during stipulated consumptive testing procedures and cleanup. The state will address its duty to comply with I.C.R. 16 and due process with each of these in turn. The duty of disclosure enunciated in Brady is an obligation of not just the individual prosecutor assigned to the case, but of all the government agents having a significant role in investigating and prosecuting the offense. The holding in Brady v. Maryland requires disclosure only of evidence that is both favorable to the accused and material either to guilt or to punishment. 373 U.S. at 87. The Brady rule is based on the requirement of due process. Its purpose is not to displace the adversary system as the primary means by which truth is uncovered, but to ensure that a miscarriage of justice does not occur. Thus, the prosecutor is not required to deliver his entire file to defense counsel, but only to disclose evidence favorable to the accused that, if suppressed, would deprive the defendant of a fair trial. For unless the omission deprived the defendant of a fair trial, there was no constitutional violation requiring that the verdict be set aside. And absent a constitutional violation, there was no breach of the prosecutor's constitutional duty to disclose. But to reiterate a critical point,
The prosecutor will not have violated his
Okay.
constitutional duty of disclosure
back,
unless
dude. Hold
his omission is of sufficient
on. Okay. Hold on. It's temporarily not available. What the hell? Let me. Hold on. Hold the phone. Okay. Let's try another one. My phone's acting weird right now. Imagine that. Come on, Sally. Okay, let's try Nate. He sounds like a Nate. If he will actually make a sound. Anyways, let me just see where she left off. Sufficient significance to result in the denial of the defendant's right to a fair trial. State versus Augers. Yeah. A. Tips provided to law enforcement. The tip provided are of limited evidentiary value and are unlikely to contain evidence either favorable to the accused or of exculpatory value. Now I gotta, I'm reading it from my phone like a ding dong instead of on my screen. Yeah, because I'm looking at it on my phone and then I'm looking at it a different way on the computer. So, come on.
either favorable to
accused or of exculpatory value.
Right.
Although the defendant tries to characterize such evidence as containing potential alternate suspects, this is simply not the case. The tips included those from 56 psychics and or visions called in to provide information as to the whereabouts of the missing children. There were tips referencing alleged sightings of the children in multiple different states and at conflicting times, including well past the time of the last known proof of life for both of the children. Misinformation or tips as to the location of the children contradicting the reality of Tylee and JJ's burial on the defendant's property is neither favorable nor exculpatory. The tip line was created in late November 2019, after Rexburg police had been contacted to conduct a welfare check on JJ. Therefore, any information as to the alleged whereabouts of the children from psychics or otherwise is of extremely limited evidentiary value. Furthermore, all tips with information deemed to have possible evidentiary value were investigated by police, and any reports made were turned over to defense in discovery early on in this matter and in the previous case CR 222075. While the defense may quibble as to what is considered by law enforcement to have evidentiary value, if the argument is going to be that every tip, including those provided by psychics, visions, or facially holding no credibility, should be explored, the state would suggest that such information does not meet the materiality requirement of Brady. The tips do not contain information which would negate the defendant's guilt or tend to reduce punishment pursuant to I.C.R. 16A and are not required for mandatory disclosure pursuant to that rule.
The fact that the state has provided the information to the defense in an abundance of caution does not transform the tips into exculpatory or mitigating material for the defendant. Therefore, such information does not violate the constitutional or statutory rights of the defendant.
B. Devices
Seized from defendant Daybell's residence. A number of devices were seized from the defendant's residence during a search in January 2020. The existence of these devices was disclosed in discovery provided to the defense on August 9, 2021. Indeed, both defendants also received the same information in their prior cases on January 14, 2021, several months before they were indicted with their current charges. Further, on May 31, 2022, the state disclosed an FBI report in its fourth supplemental discovery disclosure regarding multiple devices in which the raw data was downloaded and provided. This report contains a detailed list of the devices. All information has been made available for the defense to view, inspect or copy in compliance with I. As noted previously, the state does not have an obligation to turn over the entire file nor to provide an exhaustive and detailed accounting of all police work to defense. Making the devices available to the defendant for inspection and copying complies with the state's discovery and due process obligations. Although counsel for the defendant has not inspected or no duty of disclosure unless his omission is of sufficient significance to result in the denial of the defendant's right to a fair trial. The devices continue to remain available to the defense as they have been for approximately 2 years.
Boom.
Furthermore, there has been no showing by the defendant that any information contained in these devices is relevant or material to the case at hand or defense in any manner. 1. In order to establish a Brady violation, there must be evidence that 1. Is favorable to the accused because it is either exculpatory or impeaching. 2. Was willfully or inadvertently suppressed by the state. And 3. Was prejudicial or material in that there is a reasonable probability that its disclosure to the accused would have led to a different result. State v. Langford, 100. The state incorporates the arguments and list of devices/digital evidence contained in its response to defendant's second motion to compel. State
favorable
has not been suppressed by the state as it has been made available to the defendant for inspection and copying. There has been no showing by the defendant, beyond a bare assertion, that these devices may well be material. See defendant's motion to dismiss page 18. Therefore, there is no constitutional or statutory violation of the defendant's rights with regard to these items. C. Additional DNA evidence. Once the evidence related to the children's remains was discovered on the defendant's property, it was transferred to the custody of the Idaho State Lab and was initially processed for DNA evidence. DNA evidence that did not involve consumptive testing was handled promptly, and those results were provided to defense counsel. In consideration of the state in the co-defendant's case, the processing of DNA evidence that necessitated consumptive testing was halted until all parties could participate, consider their options and reach a stipulation for testing. Agreeable to all the parties, a stipulation for consumptive testing of this evidence was reached, and the court entered an order on August 15, 2022. During the processing, collection and testing of this evidence, lab personnel collected additional hairs and notified prosecutor Rob Wood of this information shortly before Christmas, 2022. Prosecutor Wood immediately contacted the defense and provided notice of the additional hairs. Idaho State Lab did not believe it could use its existing equipment or procedures to successfully develop a DNA profile from collected additional hairs because of their size, the fact they had been embedded in duct tape and soaked in J.J. Vallow's decomposition fluid. In an effort to address the fact these additional hairs were retrieved later in the testing process, the prosecution team sought out a lab with the ability to perform expedited testing for mitochondrial and potentially Y chromosome DNA on small hair samples. A stipulation was entered into between the parties for this testing too. State's objection and be conducted at a private lab with the capacity to conduct the necessary testing rapidly. While the defendant discounts the potential inculpatory value of this evidence, hairs from duct tape surrounding JJ's body would have significant inculpatory value if related to the defendant. DNA matching to co-conspirators would likewise be incriminating given the defendant's participation in the conspiracy to murder JJ Vallow. If the hairs are simply attributable to JJ Vallow, they have no exculpatory value. The testing performed by the Idaho State Lab has already been provided to defense for review by their expert, Mr. Hampekin. The state is unclear what additional testing the defense is referencing since they will have the same reports and findings as the state, as well as having access to the information regarding the testing process, because of the protocol entailing first testing evidence for fingerprints, the collection of hair and fiber, and the delay in consumptive testing, these additional hairs were not obtained until examination during that consumptive testing process. This information was provided to defense counsel immediately upon its discovery. While Mr. Hampican may need some additional time for review and analysis from this recent testing, the state has made every effort to provide this in an expedited manner and has agreed to a continuance beyond the discovery deadline for defense reports. Again, the defendant has not made a showing that the evidence is exculpatory or impeaching beyond speculation. The state has not willfully or inadvertently suppressed this information, and there has been no showing that such evidence is material or prejudicial to the defense such that its suppression would deprive the defendant of a fair trial or a reasonable probability of a different outcome. To prove prejudice, a defendant must show there is a reasonable probability that, but for the late disclosure of evidence, the result of the proceedings would have been different. State v. Tapia, 100.
I gotta skip.
The
Oh,
dog
nope,
chasing
nope.
pig not violated Mr. Daybell's constitutional due process rights or statutory rights under I.C.R. 6. Conclusion. For these reasons, the state respectfully requests the court deny the defendant's motion to dismiss the indictment or to preclude the imposition of the death penalty due to continued discovery violations by the state. Respectfully submitted this 16th, hereby certified that on this 16th day of February, 2023.
We don't have to do all that. Oh, but we do have to jump down to here. Oh my gosh. See, I like the reader. Anyways, it was not very easy hearing all that stuff about JJ, or any of them, you know. Ugh. Weird. Okay, I might have to read this because they're going to be like, they're going to get hung up on the numbers more than I do. So this says Rexburg Police Department, case number 2019-05298, tips. Sightings confirmed not to be Tylee and JJ. 42. So there were 42 sightings confirmed not to be Tylee and JJ. 10 tips led to interview / follow-up / report by law enforcement. Tip 3. Interview of Gillian Kennedy on 9/30/2020 by Detective Ray Hermosillo, written 3/1/2021. Tip 14. Well, they skipped around, huh? 26/108. Interviews of Christopher Parrott as follows. 2/25/2020 by Detective, I don't know how to say that last name, K, and Detective Schmidt, written 2/25/2020. 7/21/2020 by Detective K, written on 10/29/2020. Tip 15. 309. Information regarding crawl space. I remember that. Officers followed up on tips on 5/29/2020. Report written by Detective Hermosillo on 6/1/2020. Tip 24. Interviews of April Raymond as follows. 1. On January 8, 2020, Detective Reese, written 2/24/2020. On May 26, 2020, by Detective Reese, written 5/28/2020. On September 9th, 2020, by Detective Hermosillo, written 9/21/2020. Tip 41. Interviews of Melanie Gibb as follows. She was a busy little bee, I'll tell you that. And by bee, fill in the blank. 12/6/2019 by Detective Hermosillo, written 12/16/2019. 12/7/2019 by Detective Ray Hermosillo, written 12/16/2019. February 3rd, 2021 by Detective Ray Hermosillo, written 2/4/21. 6/3/2020 by Detective Hermosillo, written 6/8/2020. April 30th, 2021 by Detective Hermosillo, written 4/30/2021. Tip 41. Interview of Jason Mao, 4/28/2021 by Lieutenant Ball, written on 5/22/2022. Tip 125. Interview of Annie Cushing on 1/9/2020, written 2/24/2020. Tip 358. Phone call with Jay Johnson on 3/9/2020 by Lieutenant Foster, written 4/20/2020. Information or comment by tipster on case 284. Wow. Tips on other people who possibly had knowledge of kids' whereabouts. 23. Wonder what the asterisk is for. Oh, down here. Never mind. Tips unfounded due to Chad and Lori being in Hawaii. 35. Boy, that's not a good score to have. It's not a good rating. Sightings confirmed not to be Chad/Lori. 7 on the rating scale. Kidding. Psychic/vision tips. 50. Whopping 6. 56. Press/media. 2. Tip referred to FBI/Arizona. 1. Duplicate tip. 1. Okay, so this is the asterisk of this one. Tips on other people who possibly had knowledge of kids' whereabouts. 23. So other people who with possible knowledge of the kids. Hector Sosa. Law enforcement attempted to interview, but he would not cooperate. Shocker. So shocked. Julie Rowe. How you get her to shut up? Asking for a friend. Anyways, Julie Rowe. Law enforcement spoke with FBI. Christopher Parrott. LE spoke with RPD. Jason Mao. LE spoke with RPD. Nani Gibb. LE spoke with RPD. Bentley. Whoever the hell that is. Tip 89. Let's go see. I guess that's how this works. Well, I don't know. I don't see 89. Oh well. Bentley, tip 89. Law enforcement spoke with caller who mentioned Bentley. Children were not Tylee. Oh, okay. And JJ, RPD. Eric Smith, anonymous tip. Caller wanted us to watch YouTube video. Alex Cox, law enforcement spoke with on initial visit, RPD. Wendy Meckham, I guess you say, or Meacham. Law enforcement spoke with caller, confirmed Wendy was just a known associate. Mike Stroud, boy, oh my God. See, I just got instant karma. I took a sip and it spilled on me. See, instant karma. Happens here every day. Mike Stroud, not so much. Tip 322. Law enforcement attempted to contact multiple times, but no cooperation. And you ask yourself, why such godly people? Such godly, I want to F-bomb right here so bad, but I'm not. Godly people, but don't want to cooperate. Why? Because it's man's law. It's not God's law. I'm telling you. Dated the 16th day of February 2023. Detective Wheeler. So anyways, there's that. Let's talk about that for a sec. Wait, let me make sure I got the water off up. I got it out of my hair. Oh, yeah. Oh, and yeah. Hey. So, Brother Stroud, shame on you. Shame on you. God don't sleep. My God does not sleep. I mean, I just tasted some karma right there when I was like, you know, I mean, that's ridiculous. These people act, I was about to say they act like they are God, but never mind. Nuts. So what do y'all want to talk about? What do y'all want to, I mean, I have another document, but I know it sucks to listen to the reader, but it really is excruciating. You know, I get hung up and my mouth is dry. Yeah, I was definitely going to, I had this lined up. Actually, hold on, hold please, because I got it right here. We'll listen to Court TV. Break that as soon as I get my act together. Okay. So I went and Googled that up.
what this doomsday couple was up
Well,
to.
listen.
And specifically woven into the LDS religion in some way. And there's this strange
a
relationship
lot of ways
that we have seemingly uncovered through our coverage of the story and peeling back the layers of this relationship between the doomsday couple and the Church of Latter-day Saints. And the LDS Church has also started to play a role in what is happening inside the courtroom as well. There's a lot to get to, but I want to begin here.
How many people in this chat? I want to know a general consensus if I'm just being too hard, because I've been super easy. I feel like I've been super easy on them a lot for an institution, for a church that is a multi-billion dollar corporation. I mean, the SEC is investigating them for $100 billion in their rainy day fund for when the second coming of Jesus Christ. I don't figure I need money, you know? I don't even know what I would do. Just saying. Yeah, it's getting close, Robin. It's getting so close. So y'all don't agree with it. I don't either. But the church, I didn't finish my thought. When the church, it didn't really make sense to me in the beginning because I really didn't know how everything worked, you know? Kind of my first time going through that. And plus, you got all the feels too. And it's hard going through something that you're attached to that's happening to your family, to you, it's just happening right here, you know? And you're just like, okay. So there's a lot of things going on at this all simultaneously, you know? It's a lot. And I didn't know anything then. All I remember seeing is not our church, not my church. I mean, I have screenshots of people saying, you know, I wish that they would stop riding the coattails of the church. And I'm like, I ran across that the other day, you know, and I was just like, oh my God, that's how you ration that. That's how you, that's what you come to is that. I wish that Chad and Lori wouldn't ride the coattails of the church. They are the church. The church is them. It's together. It's one. Uno, not a branch off. I said it. And I mean it. And in the beginning, I bought it. I bought it because I didn't know any better. I didn't know any different. I was naive. I was, thank you, KJ. Thank you. I will not stop either. Bet your bottom dollar on that one. I forgot. Oh, I had been told so many times that that's not our church. It's not our church. And I get it. A lot of people, there's a lot of things that I've discovered that are not known to the membership. And I'm just like, how, oh my gosh. Okay. This is so sad. It's so sad on so many different levels, different planets, different probations. Hell, let's throw that in. Anyways, let me shut up. I'll finish playing this.
Daybell, the doomsday prophet, the one who is making all these
we can't call him a doomsday prophet anymore. It's not his prophecy. I found him. I found Oprah's name yesterday, y'all. Shit you not. I found it. I was like, oh my God, oh my God. It tells exactly how the law of the telestial heaven, the law of the terrestrial, and the celestial champagne room, as I dub it. Yeah. Yes, Rose. And I'm working on something. I'm working on something big. Because all parties who have blood on their hands, either directly or indirectly, need to be held accountable. Church people they're men. They put their pants on the same way that you and I do. I've said this last week, you know, And they should really know better. They should really know better. I'm sorry, KJ. You're gonna make me be quiet. I don't understand. And I don't know how this is going to work. I don't know. But because they're a corporation, maybe that'll work in the, I don't know how this is. It's to make a point. It's to make it stop. I don't know how else to handle it. You know, the church has never come out and spoken. They haven't muttered one, and I'm glad. I'm glad they haven't said the victims' names not one time. All Charles, Tylee, Tammy, JJ, and Joe had converted too. Now, whether that's all that, what do you call it? Semantics. Whether he was, paying his tithing and stuff, he probably couldn't afford it because he was having to pay Dingleberry. But I'm just saying, it's just there were all members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and not one time did they say, oh, or send a card besides the Jesus card I got. Yeah, I know. Right here. My Jesus card that I got in the middle of my living room. Not playing. That's not the kind of cards that I was talking about. You have to be specific. I understand. Anyways, just nothing to say, oh, we're sorry for your loss. It wouldn't be saying, oh, they're going to implicate us. Don't act guilty then. Don't act guilty. I know. I mean, I can read people. I read the room, I've always been like that. I didn't really know. It just, kind of had to figure that out about myself. I'm like, oh, okay. We tend to do that. That gut feeling, it just never did sit right. And I didn't know anything. I didn't know any better. I didn't know any different. So I just went on and I did my own research. That is the most important thing I can ever share with you. That's the best advice, is to do your own research. It's valuable and it means something, because you learn for yourself. You didn't just take it. You didn't take it at mainstream. That word bothers me. Mainstream? I'm like, what do you consider? What is your definition of mainstream? What I'm learning, that it's very important, because there are a lot of, and I'm saying it, there are a lot of the same terms in Mormonism as there is in Christianity, just across the board. And it's not at all the same definitions. They mean totally different things. And I've read the doctrine. I read the doctrine. I read it every day. I consume this for 4 years. 4 years. Y'all have to. I'm just saying, it's different. It's different. I can't undo it now. It's there. So I might as well just soar in it. I'll be able to point some stuff out, in the future. What a weird skill. Just saying. Hi, Bree. Oh, you did your own research. I'm glad to hear that, Rose. I'm glad. It's very freeing. It's got to be, and I'm so glad that you did that. And to anybody that does that, does their own research, and if you're happy in the church and you're, not being jerks like these idiots, Melanie Gibb, all them, the like-minded people club, then okay. If it's worthwhile, if it's fulfilling, if it's giving you what you need, and you're not having to work yourself to death and do this and do that with all the activities, and oh my God, it's so demanding. And I feel for you. I feel for you big time. I think that's why I had to go through this, so I could understand, the empathy. I have a lot of empathy for those who are in this and either don't know yet or are figuring it out. I know this is hard. But it's gonna be okay. The truth shall set you free. That's it. But anyways, night, KJ. Love you. Thank you. You going to the woods? Oh crap. turn all your turn all your locations on. I did. I was like, they don't know where I ping. Okay, let me finish.
At one point was closely aligned, it seems, with the LDS Church. And Eric Smith is a friend of his who spoke with Court TV about chat.
And Eric don't know. I mean, at that time, he's done some leaps and bounds. I'm proud of him. He actually advocates for ritual abuse victims, and I'm like, hey, change is the best apology. Just saying. I don't know why the church I don't know why the church would encourage their members to cooperate with law enforcement. All these victims were, they are you. They are the church. Radio Free Mormon says it. He's like, oh, I would go show you, but I can't because I'll jump around.
Daybell and his religious beliefs and what sort of happened. And I think it's important to hear this because we've got some blockbuster news coming up. So take a listen first.
Chad's message, I think, started innocently enough. His belief system started innocently. I think he meant to do good. Somewhere along the way, something's changed. I think I see some greed, some pride, even some lust, entering this man. I don't want to be his judge, but it's hard not to recognize those in him. It's unfortunate to watch somebody slowly slip like that, and especially to go this far. Chad has taught some things that are now, they're new to the public, and they're just...
Him and Julie wrote the damn books. That's all I'm saying. Prophets with an F. That's how I spell it, with an F.
Disturbing. He has a very dark twist on something that I believe to be more pure.
Nothing gets past him.
And it's that dark twist that really got us to where we are. Ron Chanley Painter, who for us tonight, and it's right on this issue, that relationship between Chad Daybell, the Doomsday Prophet, and the LDS Church. What do you have for us tonight, Chanley?
Vinny, we can now confirm that Chad Daybell is no longer a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Too late, though, for all the people that are like, he was excommunicated. Wasn't he excommunicated? I heard that so many times too, and I was like, what difference does that make? Does that make him outside of your circle? No pun intended. Actually, pun intended. Yeah, that doesn't mean he's still one of you. He's still one of you. But people micro compartmentalize so much that it is disturbing. It's sad. It's troubling. And it's going to be another wake-up call, unfortunately, because if this doesn't wake you up, I don't know what will. We're not done here, though. Their deaths will not be in vain. Tylee, Charles, Tammy, JJ, and Joe. Their deaths will not be in vain. I'm making sure of that. You're making sure of that. We are making sure of that. That's what we do. Their legacies will live on without the church. And I'm okay with that.
He has been excommunicated. This is something that has been speculated about for years. We have confirmation. In fact, here are the letters that were mailed to Chad Daybell after he was arrested in...
We don't know that, Beach Bum, because the church only leaked this out. Wink, wink. Allegedly. They leaked this out because when things become too public, then that's when they disclose. Wink, wink, leak out, excommunication, things, anything to distance themselves. That was a distancing tactic. So was the letters that they mailed out the second day of Chad's preliminary hearing. Then the whole IDHW thing, y'all, I study. It was before the sex abuse story came out. And whenever I was like, that does not sound right. Something's up. That's hooey dooey, you know? And just the way they got rid of Mark Means and then I, mm-mm. I was born at night, but I was not born last night.
June 2020, when the remains of Tylee and JJ were discovered on his property, he was taken into custody. Well, here are the letters sent to him at the Fremont County Jail. The first one was dated July 14th, 2020. It says, "Dear Brother Daybell, this letter is to notify you that the stake presidency is holding a membership council in your behalf. The membership council will be held August 2nd, 2020, 10 a.m. This council will consider evidence of apostasy, including promulgating teachings and doctrines which are contrary to..."
They're not contrary, though. They're not. One would want you to think that those doctrines are not theirs, and one would want you to think that Lori is crazy. I don't know how many times my parents, for sure, have said she's crazy, but she's not that kind of crazy. She knows what the hell she's doing. Slaps counter. Yes. She knows what she's doing. He knows what he's doing. This is what they do. Manipulate. This is a learned behavior. I'm just saying. You're either hurting somebody or you're getting hurt. Hurt people. That's my view. That's my view. It's my little 2 cents. A lot. It just is. It's gross. It's gross, and they should be ashamed of themselves, but I doubt it, because they're okay with what they've done. And by them, I'm talking about the organization. I'm not trying to get sued or murdered.
Those of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. It further says he was invited to provide a written statement to the council on his behalf, written statements from other persons, relevant information on his behalf to this membership council. This was a letter July 14th. The next letter to Mr. Daybell was dated August 9th, 2020. Now, this letter says, "Dear Brother Daybell, this letter is to notify you of the decision of the membership council held for you on August 2nd, 2020. The council decision was to withdraw your membership in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints for conduct contrary to the laws and order of the church, specifically for apostasy and for promulgating teachings and doctrines contrary to those of the church." So this
lies. So you get where it's learned from, right?
Decision means, according to this letter, that Chad Daybell no longer enjoys the privileges of church membership. He cannot enter the temple or wear temple garments. He may not exercise the priesthood.
He exorcised the demons. I'm just saying.
Or pay tithes and offerings. It says he would be invited to attend public church meetings, but he could not, only if conduct is orderly. So this is what this letter says. He had a right to an appeal within 30 days, and it's signed by the president, William Dalling, the Henry Fork Stake president there in Rexburg. Now,
the thing is, oh crap. This is another thing that whenever I watched this earlier, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. So check this too. This is another way that I don't like. I want them to have fair trials, and I want everybody who's involved to be culpable. That's all.
The same source who provided me this correspondence advised that these letters were delivered to the Fremont County Jail, but Chad did not receive them until a month after the date of the second letter here. So way after September 2nd, 2020, too late to respond. The source close to Chad Daybell also says that any rumor of a previous excommunication or reinstatement for Chad Daybell, that would be false. And of course, we did reach out to the LDS Church and that stake president who signed the letters, and they said they could not comment on the letters, saying it was confidential matter, and they don't usually comment about membership status.
Except for this.
So remember that Chad was arrested during this time, but it's important to keep in mind that this letter, Vinny, is only for his alleged, his teachings, but not any criminal activity. So that's clear by these letters.
And what's clear to me, I mean, you've been...
What's clear to you? Okay. How much corruption, how many times do they get to interject? And I know that it's been navigated by them. Julie Rowe interjected herself, right? Other people have interjected themselves, right? It's to either, I've never seen anything like it. Of course, I've never been through anything like this. I've never kept up with anything like this. I've never seen people, it's like going to a rock concert or something and people just diving into the mosh pit. And then you're just like, what the hell? Why are they doing that? And they do that. And then you're like, well, I knew you'd get your ass beat, you know? Why you want to do that? Why you want to, I don't understand. I feel like it's so they can control their narrative. That's my opinion. I'm sure there's other things to glean from it, but it just isn't right unless it's relevant, you know? And it's like a little late. And then like Julie and Eric and stuff, when they came out, it seemed like they timed their stuff. They're like, hurry up, let's write some damn books. Let's market. And Julie even picked on, you know, she was like, I would never call anybody a zombie. Next thing you know, Julie Rose got her damn group things after her and Eric parted ways, and it's called Zombies, one of her meetings, you know, and I'm just like, okay, high class, huh? God, huh? No God here. There's no God here.
Out there, right? To East Idaho, to Rexburg, Fremont County, that whole area, that is heavily dominated by the church, right?
It really is. And there's a huge temple right there, downtown Rexburg, Idaho. Most of the residents in that Madison County, Fremont County, are members of the LDS Church. Most of the people that we spoke to there's a BYU campus there in Madison County. So it's very...
Yeah, actually, who was it that said it? Oh, crap. I don't remember who said it, but I heard it this week. And I was like, oh, I forgot about that. But Lori had told, maybe it was Colby, that she had got a job at BYU. No, Tylee. Tylee told it to her friend. And the friend, so I mean, it's a lot of hearsay, but still, you know. So that means that, let's just take it verbatim. Lori would have told Tylee, oh, I got a job in Idaho or whatever, and I'm going to be working at the campus where you're going to be going to school. What? Yeah. Anyways, I'm trying to save it for the trial. I need to get it out before the trial. I think that's why I'm being a little snappy lately.
Very much ingrained in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And so this is something that has been talked about. We finally have confirmation and know exactly what happened.
And it's not insignificant.
Okay.
And it's not insignificant to the legal case because you're gonna have to pick a jury at some point. And if the church is excommunicating him, now all of a sudden that becomes a huge issue. And
my thing is, move it out of the Mormidor. It's not good. I don't feel, never have felt good about it. It's very, it sucks. You know, it sucks because they're the justice that the victims deserve. It's in the hands of the people that really put them there to begin with, that set them up for failure. I see it 144,000%. I see it. And I've been seeing it. I just haven't known how to speak it. Mormonese is not an easy, it's not easy. And I get tongue twisted and things because it's so much stuff and I have it. I just don't, I'm getting better at communicating it. It's difficult research for sure.
And it's even more of an issue because of the other news that you broke this week involving a motion made by Lori Vallow Daybell's attorney, also connected to the LDS Church.
That's right. And allegedly, Lori Vallow Daybell called the LDS headquarters, spoke with the legal counsel for the church, according to that motion that we covered earlier this week, and told this counsel all the details of her case, allegedly. So it...
Okay. Stephanie, no, I screen recorded it, but it's court TV. It is court TV. I'll have to look. I'm sorry. I'll let you know though. Oh, push play.
Sort of goes to show, well, does that indicate whether or not Lori is welcome in the church? We tried to ask the LDS spokesperson about her status in the church, and of course, we were given that no comment, confidential matter response. But it does raise an interesting point about whether or not
they were both members of the church when they met and when they got married, right? And
in the temple,
when their spouses died, they were Mormons.
In the temple.
Exactly. So yeah, they're members of the church. This didn't happen until after Chad Daybell was arrested. And if Lori is making phone calls allegedly to the LDS council,
who then calls the prosecutor,
right?
She calls the church, a lawyer with the church, talking, presumably, at least allegedly.
Not just any lawyer either. Curtin McConkie. I'm sorry, Daniel McConkie. Curtin McConkie. That's like Mormon. I call them thoroughbreds. I know it's not the right term. It's like the bloodline. It's like it goes up there, and prominent. Bruce R. McConkie, the McConkies, McConkies, and whenever I was listening to, who was it? Let me think. It was Mormon Stories podcast, and it was with the lawyer Tim Cosnell, the one who has gone up against the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints for the sex abuse claims, hiding it, using the LDS helpline / hotline, whatever. That is my opinion. They put it in there to act as a barrier. If somebody, a bishop or whatever, calls it in, the bishops are actually in charge. Like, they can be found liable. Do you know that? I'm sure they change policy every other 2 seconds. But anyways, and it's not there for the victim. It's not there for the victim. And Daniel McConkie picks up the damn phone. He's there. It's like the phone calls are screened. I'm not making this up. It's just you study the patterns and you're just like, that doesn't make sense. It doesn't feel right first, right? And then you're like, and you kind of observe things in my peripheral. I kind of see what's going on without watching directly, and you realize that this happened at this time and this happened, and then you're like, oh, you get a little away from it and you're like, that and then learning the more and more that I've learned, no, not no, but hell no. No, it's like Melanie Gibbs said, it's all a lie, and it is. And this is what happens when a lie is just, it goes on and on and on and on, and it never has to face accountability. Look at Lori, point in case. Nobody ever put her in her place. And look at her. Just look at her. No, it does not feel right. And I've been right there. I've been right here with y'all. I've been right here with y'all, just trying to stay as quiet as I could, because I was learning. And I didn't want to just come out and make ignorant comments. I didn't want to just make accusations that I can't back up, because again, this is a multi-billion-dollar corporation, and I live in a trailer, a 92 model. Okay, I live in an old trailer over here. I'm just saying, what the hell, never did I ever want to do this. Oh my God. That goes to that whole thing. Don't say things unless you're prepared. I picked, and I was like, there's the Leah Remini of the Scientology church. And I was like, I'm going to be the Rhea Lemony. The Rhea Lemony of the Mormon church. And I knew. Anyways, the church it is very complicated, that's for sure. That is for sure. That is 100%. Okay, let me finish this.
About her case, and then the
Let me back it up.
church talking, presumably, at least allegedly, about her case, and then the attorney for the church turns around and calls the prosecutor in the case, who's also a member of the church.
Yes, a former bishop of the church, Benny, Rob Wood, the special prosecutor there on this case. So, and a lot of the people in the court, the judge, those locals, part of this trial, members of the LDS faith, that is well known. I will point out it is possible in the LDS faith to be reinstated. If you've been excommunicated, you can't.
False excommunications, fake ones, I mean, fake divorces even. If y'all go watch the ex-Mormon Foundation.org YouTube channel, and that Lying for the Lord, there's like, it's 10 parts. And I mean, you just you listen, I know it's boring, I know it can be, but when you hear all these similarities and behaviors, the patterns, that's my jam. That's where I thrive with that, because I'm like, I picked that up. If it happens twice, then that's a pattern. And I'm like, and then it just adds on after that. And I'm like, oh yeah, no, you can't have that many coinkydinks ever. And you catch on, and then you're like, no, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying what you're trying to sell me, sir. No, thank you. It's just, it's nuts. It's freaking nuts.
Return to the church if you repent and
yeah, that could happen, but this is significant for the case in many levels when the church is this much interwoven.
So I'm sorry. Sorry. I just did that to y'all's ears. Melanie Gibbs. Yes, they don't seem, they do. They have a lot of money. A lot. And that's intimidating. But then on the other hand, nobody does this to my family and gets away with it. Oh well, if I die, if I get murdered, you heard it here first. Right? Send out the cacaws for me, please. And all my location services are turned on, all that good stuff. Jesus card. Missionaries, no. So it didn't have to be this way. It never had to be this way. And it still does not have to be this way. Yet here we are, because every branch off, in my opinion, from what I've researched thus far to this point, every branch off that has happened, gotta say allegedly and all that good crap. Do I have to mean it? I'll do what they do. I get it wrong. Yeah. Oh crap, I shouldn't have done that. I forgot. I do. It's strapped to me at all times. Which one? One time we were at Ashlyn's birthday. We had it at, anyways, and I had 3 phones, and I mean only one has service, but I don't get rid of them because of this case, and so I don't know what's where. And Larry looked at me, and I looked at him, and I was like, I'm not. Lori had 3 phones, or however many phones. I was like, don't. Not me. I'm not her, Crap. Oh, every branch off, every offshoot is, in my opinion, somebody chasing after the Church of the Firstborn. Why? Because the Mormon church is having, allegedly, these secret, not sacred, ceremonies in their temples that the public is not allowed to go in. It's in secret. The general membership goes to the church, not the temple. You have to have a temple recommend. You have to answer and or I'm sure just tell them what they want to hear to get your temple recommend and or I'm gonna murder. That whole thing, yeah, that's a problem. I don't know how to shut that down. There's no way, I don't think, but if there's a way, I will find it because I'm like that. That's how I am. It's my shoulders tensing up just talking about it. The best people. Wait, someone, not the good people of the church. Right, right. I think someone, not the good people of the church, decided to refuse to deal with the cancer that grows from the doctrine. Who? Right. There's a lot of good people. There's so many good people from that church, and you know they're gonna think they're gonna think what they will. And it was a deciding moment, you know, where I was like, I can't continue to be ripped apart by this. By I don't want to step on their toes. I don't want to hurt anybody. I mean, I picture people that I've bonded with, that I've met, that live in Rexburg, that I adore. But there's this big elephant sitting in between us. And I know that um, I had to pick a side. And it seems like I'm going against people that I've connected with, that I love, that I care about. And that is also another driving force as to why. Because I don't I don't know. I don't know what I can do. And it's all because of the victims. Their blood was spilled, not mine. I'm here to pick up the pieces. I'm one of the people here to pick up the pieces. And there's a lot of pieces. And so you all carry those pieces and we put it together and we make this work. Because if we allow it to continue to go, can you imagine? Don't even imagine. Don't even put that into your brain. Um, the poor, the poor kids, the victims. This is bad. It's bad. I've done a lot of research, y'all. There's a lot of things that I'm just not comfortable sharing, and unless it's a more private setting. It's it's I don't know. It's not good. It's not good. Oh, the other PDF. Yeah. Darn. Thank you. Cards and Cavaliers. I get on my soapbox here. Okay, let me go grab it. Okay. Okay. Thank you for reminding me. I was going on a tangent there. That's a big cup. Okay. That's the one I just saw. Okay, so this one? Or are they the same? Okay, here is this one. Now, I don't have this one entered into my reader, so let me go and make sure I'm sharing. I'm not. Okay. Present. Share screen. Okay. Just checking. Okay. Okay, let me go back. Uh-oh, I hit the wrong thing. Imagine that. Where'd the damn tab go? Okay, here. All right. Making sure. Okay, yes, y'all can see it. I'm on it. Okay. This is in the district, I'm sorry, it's the state's response to defendant's second motion to compel. And it's 2/16/2023, State of Idaho, plaintiff versus Chad Guy Daybell, defendant. The state hereby objects to the defendant's second motion to compel for the following reasons. Legal authority. Discovery in Idaho criminal cases is governed by Idaho ICR 16 and Idaho Code 191309. ICR 16 establishes and governs the duties of the state and the defendant in regards to disclosure of reports, evidence, Brady material, witnesses, expert witnesses, etc. The rule requires disclosure of multiple types of evidence. The prosecutor is not required to deliver his entire file to defense counsel. ICR 16 requires the state to disclose evidence and make it available to the defendant. ICR 16b4 states, B, disclosure of evidence and materials by the prosecution on written request, except as otherwise provided in this rule. The prosecuting attorney must, at any time following the filing of charges on written request by the defendant, disclosure and following information, evidence and material to the defendant. 4. Documents and tangible objects. On written request of the defendant, the prosecuting attorney must permit the defendant to inspect and copy or photograph books, papers, documents, photographs, tangible objects, buildings or places, or copies or portions of them that are in the possession, custody, or control of the prosecuting attorney, and that A, are material to the preparation of the defense, B, are intended for use by the prosecutor as evidence at trial, or C, were obtained from the defendant or belong to the defendant. Okay. Argument. The state has compiled, I'm sorry, let me take a drink. Okay. The state has complied with ICR 16 in regard to the items listed in the defendant's second motion to compel and will continue to do so. While the defendant's second motion to compel does not specify which devices it references, the state believes from other filings and the number of types of devices listed that it refers to items seized from the defendant's home on January 3rd, 2020. Y'all remember that? It was snowing. Or snow was on the ground. The kids were there too. Ugh. A full list of items seized during that search has been disclosed to the defendant at least twice. Indeed, the state disclosed these items in a previous case, before the defendant was indicted in the current case. So it's in the other ones, the bodies. On January 14, 2021, in the discovery disclosure in Fremont County cases CR 22-20-0755 and CR 22-20-0838, the state provided a copy of the FBI. I figured that's what it was because I know it was like semantics. You know, it's like you didn't. It's like they didn't say the password. They didn't say the secret password. Oh man, this is a trip. Okay, a copy of the FBI FD-302 report regarding the January 3rd, 2020 search. Attached to that report was a copy of the evidence called Evidence Collected Item Log. The FBI 302 report is stamped with Bates numbers 017118, and the evidence log begins on Bates number 017125 and includes the items referenced in defendant's motion. The discovery disclosure provided by the state at that time and in that case contained the following language in paragraph 4A. Defense counsel can inspect and copy or photograph the items or material described in Idaho Criminal Rule 16b4 by simply making prior arrangements with the Madison County Prosecutor's Office or the law enforcement agency holding such items or evidence. After the defendant was indicted in the current case, the same reports and evidence log were disclosed again in the state's first supplemental discovery disclosure, dated August 9, 2021. That's the day my house burned down. Not that year, but anyways, the same paragraph 4A was included in that disclosure, alerting the defendant that he could inspect, copy, or photograph any items or material in the state's possession. Further, on May 31st, 2022, the state disclosed an FBI report report in its fourth supplemental discovery disclosure regarding multiple devices in which the raw data was downloaded and provided. This report contains a detailed list of the devices. This disclosure again includes the same paragraph 4A, which states that the defense counsel can make arrangements to inspect, copy, or photograph the materials with the prosecutor's office in compliance with Rule 16. I bet they don't read these out loud. They sure like to write them, though. They're long. Of the items referenced in the defendant's motion, not only did the state make the devices and their contents available to the defense, but also provided the following to the defendant: Tammy Daybell's cell phone. An extraction of that phone and report regarding the information was provided in the state's first discovery disclosure in the pending case. Number 2, Seth Daybell's iPad, redacted and unredacted Bates numbers 60195-60197. Number 3, an approximately 850-page report of a disk in the defendant's iMac, including approximately 109 articles of the defendant's writings, wills, living wills, and trust documents were provided on August 9, 2021. Bates number 015994. Number 4, review of digital evidence on an LG phone belonging to Seth Daybell, IWR 91199 on 4/3/20. Redacted and unredacted report. Bates number 16849, 16890. Number 5, review of digital evidence on a SanDisk memory device, IWR 091205 on 4/23/20. Redacted and unredacted report. Bates number 16891. I take a sip. Okay. Number 6, review of digital evidence on a SanDisk memory device, IWR 091209 on 4/28/2020. Redacted and unredacted. Bates number 16892. Number 7, review of digital evidence on an M-Tech memory device, IWR 100590 on 4/23/2020. Redacted and unredacted report. Bates number 16893. Number 8, right? Yep. Review of digital evidence on an M-Tech memory device, IWR 100591 on 5/1/2020. Redacted and unredacted report. Bates number 16894, I think. Okay, then review of digital evidence, number 9. Digital evidence on a SanDisk flash memory, IWR 100592 on 5/12/2020. Redacted and unredacted report. Bates number 16895. Number 10, review of digital evidence on a PQ1 memory device, IWR 100593 on 4/28/2020. Redacted and unredacted. Bates number 16896. 11, review of digital evidence of a SanDisk memory device, IWR 100595 on 4/28/2020. Redacted and unredacted. Bates number 16897. Okay, number 12, review of digital evidence on a SD card, IWR 100597 on 4/1/20. Redacted and unredacted reports. Bates number 16898. Number 13, review of evidence, digital evidence on an SD card, IWR 100598 on 4/1/20. Redacted, unredacted. Bates number 16899. Review number 14, review of digital evidence on a SanDisk memory device, IWR 100599 on 4/24/20. Redacted and unredacted report. Bates number 16900. Number 15, review of digital evidence on a SanDisk memory device, IWR 100603 on 4/24/2020. Redacted and unredacted. Bates number 16901. Well, he just cleared out them whole Bates numbers, huh? Okay. Okay, so same thing. I hate not to read it. Review of digital evidence on a flash memory drive device, IWR 100605 on 4/23/2020. Redacted and unredacted, base number 16903. 17. Review of digital device on an electronic storage device, IWR 1005601 on 4/24/2020. Redacted and unredacted, Bates number 16902. Number 18. Review of Kia, I think that should be a Kia Sarah, but anyways, Kia Vera. Cell phone on 3/20/20. Redacted and unredacted report. Bates numbers 16904, 16906. Review of number 19. Review of electronic media on a Seagate hard drive from a Lenovo laptop. Redacted and unredacted doc. Bates number 20505. Number 20. Northwest RCFL report. For Apple iPhone 7 and SIM card associated with Seth and Kayla Daybell. Redacted and unredacted docs. Bates numbers 21858, 21861. Number 21. Review of electronic media on a Seagate hard drive from a HP desktop. Piece of crap, huh? Redacted and unredacted doc. Bates number 24723. Number 22. Review of electronic media on WD hard drive from a Lenovo laptop, one audio file, and redacted and unredacted doc. Bates number 25552. Number 23, review of electronic media on a Nikon. I wonder if that's the camera that Alex was taking pictures of at the Mesa Falls. I wonder what they were doing there. That's something wrong. That's always been fishy. Were they going to throw Tammy over the thing? Anyways, that's probably got to be what that's about. Oh God, please let there be. Well, no, be careful what you ask for. I was gonna say, no, I don't want to even say it. Anyways, number 24. Well, I didn't finish. Anyways, 25605. Number 24, review of electronic media on the following: IWR 100600 flash memory. PNY, that's one of those little thumbnail things, or whatever, yeah. IWR 100602, flash memory, Olatech, and IWR 100604, flash memory, SanDisk, redacted and unredacted Bates, number 38522. Number 25, review of Seth Daybell's phone extraction data. Wow. Unredacted and Bates numbers, it doesn't say redacted. Just saying. Repetition. Unredacted and Bates number 61901-62020. Conclusion. The electronic devices described in the defendant's second motion to compel clearly fall under ICR 16b4. They are tangible objects, and some of them contain documents. It is arguable the state did not need to disclose items belonging to the defendant's children, which contain no material information. Nevertheless, the state did disclose those items and made them available to the defense. And any reports regarding items the state reviewed have been provided. The state has consistently made these items available to the defense. The state cannot force the defendants. The state cannot force the damn defendants to review their damn items, nor should it be compelled to a burden beyond what is required by ICR 16. As such, the state respectfully requests the court deny the defendant's second motion to compel on this lovely February 16, 2023. I'm sorry. Here I go. Starting to act up. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh, nope, I lied. This is 12th, the 12th supplemental discovery disclosure. CR 22-21-1623, State of Idaho versus Chad Guy Daybell. Comes now the State of Idaho by and through the Fremont County Prosecuting Attorney's Office and pursuant to Idaho Criminal Rule 16, hereby notifies the defendant of the following. Number 4, documents and tangible objects. A, defense counsel can inspect and copy or photograph the items or materials described in Idaho Criminal Rule 16b4 by simply by simply making prior arrangements with the Madison County Prosecutor's Office or the law enforcement agency holding such items or evidence. So I guess they got to call up the FBI, huh? Do they call 911? Ha ha ha. Anyways. Let me pause and mute this. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's see. Okay, or the law enforcement. Okay. B. In addition to the above, the state may also utilize the following as evidence at the trial, all of which has either previously been provided or is attached hereto. Body technology case file. Bates numbers 73891, 74072. I want to know what that is. Body technology case file. I hereby certify. Okay. Yeah, that's that. I just yawned so big. I'm trying. Think, Crusher, think. Off with their heads. Right. I say a lot of things. Y'all can just about imagine, right? Yeah. That caught my eye. Yeah. That's what she does. That's what she do. You know, I mean, she's good at it. They're good at it. Because she's not the only one. She's not the only one. Chad, Melanie Gibb, she tries to act all naive. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Whew. Mm-mm. David Warwick, nope. No. I mean, I have a vision of him, you know, and I'm like, mm-mm. No, I always have. I'm just like, mm-mm. How you imagine things, you know? And, I see him wearing a hood. I'm just saying. No, because he's been in the game for a long time. They all got married, or they all got divorced, or getting divorced. Every one of them, just about. Even Jason Mao. I mean, he had, him and Linda, his ex-wife. Kudos to her. Had separated. She left him when I call him his flanks. I could never remember the name. Like now, when his legs fell off or whatever. I'm not making fun. I don't never know how to say that. Anyways, and so she left him. And thank you, Cards and Cavaliers, for becoming a member. Thanks for supporting. Appreciate it. Yeah. So, anyways, and you know what's crazy is Jason Mao's wife now. Her last name is Wood. Nikki Wood. Rob Wood, Nikki Wood. I mean, don't think I haven't tossed that around in my mind. Again, like when I see something twice, it's pattern, you know. And I remember, I forgot because I was thinking about something else already. Yeah, he does not. When it's convenient, TS Jackson, 72. Yes, they all conveniently do this. They all do this whole omission thing. That's lying for the Lord. I'm gonna play a little sound bit for you too. Hold on. Y'all know I have sound bits out the wall, out the yeah. What did y'all think about the video in the very beginning? I want to get your input. And y'all probably gave it, but I just need to go read it. But I want to know. It's important to me. Here's showing Little Bear. Oh, it won't play. Why is it doing that? Oh, I know where it is. Yeah. It's not right here. It's in my Dropbox. Hold on. Hold, please. Dropbox is right there. Recents. I need to name my files because this one says NSUH, you know, gibberish. Here it is. I wonder if you're ever going to be able to hear it. Oh no, this isn't it. But still important, you know.
That'll fake him out. Orson Pratt admitted he deliberately misled his listeners regarding the practice of polygamy, but he did not consider it to be lying. It was done to protect a higher law than man's misguided laws.
Boom, right there. Repeats itself. Anyways. Well, hold on, let me get back over here. Because, let's see. I know it's right by that one. I don't know. I don't know what this is. I have so many files. It's unreal. Oh no, it's just a PNG. Okay. Oh well, it's lying for the Lord, you know. It's just more of the brethren, more of the, you know, church leadership, just saying, you know, that you didn't ask me the right question. That's gaslighting like a mofo. That's like Lori's, how she told Melanie Gibb, well, I'm sorry that you feel that way. That's that, you know what I mean? That's that projection thing. Like, I'm sorry. She's not sorry. Neither are these people who teach this, who, just beat this in, and it's beat into them. And then they spew it, and then they just don't even know they're doing it, in my opinion. I don't even know anymore. Like, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know. Jury's out on that, because not like you never find out. It's weird. It's bad. It's not good. Yeah, this whole lying thing, even if it's by omission, by not coming forward, by the church interjecting itself allegedly a couple times, a lot of times, still, I would say. Why? Are you guilty of something? In my opinion. Anyways, it's nuts. Well, how long have we been doing this? We've been doing this for a hot minute. Hey, Marilyn, how you doing? Good to see you here. Oh yeah, I asked y'all a question and I didn't even stick around right here to see the answers. Oh, thank you, Leanne. Oh, it really was by accident. Like, I started using Adobe Rush because all my videos, I know you don't want to hear this, but this is difficult research. I tell y'all, it's difficult every step of the damn way. Crap. Oh, I got Adobe Rush. I've used Adobe products before. Like Jen told me, she's like, if you can use Adobe and you know how to work that, then you got, Zoom and StreamYard. You can do all that. And I was just like, oh my God, this is horrible. I can do Adobe. I used to go in there and just, I like pictures and I like running them through the filters. Anyways, it's just me. Anyways, and so I downloaded the Adobe Rush app, video app, and it was super easy to do. I was like, oh, okay, I could do this. My old video app, the one that I've basically made almost every video I've done to now, on my phone. And that's nuts. I can't do it on a computer. I haven't tried yet. Let me not say I can't. But anyways, I don't know what happened, but Video Shop on my phone, it just started flagging all my music, and it's not available in the store where I purchased the license, So I don't know what's going on with that, but they're going to get a strongly worded email from me, because now I'm having to like catch all these flags in YouTube, and I mean they can make this all go away like that. They can just take it, shut your channel down, and you're done. And so that freaks me out a little bit. They're not strikes, but they're not good. And I didn't do it. I credited everything, I have it in there. I know. Yes, ma'am. I'm not even gonna come up with an excuse. Me and Jason did get a new mattress, y'all. I probably slept like an angel too, because changing bed out, and Jason, since he's had his strokes, he's just not, he's not as, I had him doing some other things. And so there was a lot of physical, it felt like I moved, and I'd rather have my teeth pulled with, all of them than to move. I hate movement. Oh my God. And so moving the bed up, and it's moving the bed in, and it's a king, not a queen. So, I really did feel like a queen though, for real. It was nice. And I woke up without any pains. I'm not bragging, but let me have this. But it makes a big difference. So if you're on the cusp and you're like, do I buy a new mattress or not? Just do it. Your body will thank you. You'll be revitalized and all that good stuff. 7 hours though, it took all that, and I'm still not finished, but whatever. So I gotta figure out also how to do the channel membership things, and I gotta go familiarize myself with all that stuff again and see what all I set me up for. And and I'm being serious. So I told Jason, I was like, I just need to go live in Patreon, right? Because it's like I don't know when they want to, and they don't know when I want to do these, when they would be, basically, convenient for people. And but I'm just gonna do the damn thing, and I'll surprise y'all, and we'll just do it, because there's a lot of stuff to go over, and it's more private stuff, I guess you can say. It's not ready for the big world. And I need your advice. I need to know I would like to know it. I'd be honored to have your input, because it really is what I balance on. I really I use you guys as a sounding board, and I hope you do the same for me and everybody else around. It's good. I like to be within my boundaries. I'm like, oh, okay, or I didn't think about that, or you think about this. Everybody has something to bring to the table. I just had a TIA a week. Oh, wow. Yeah, I will watch anything you post about Jason's stroke. So sorry. Thank you. And it can happen. It can happen to us. So we have to not stress as much. And I know I'm talking to a damn wall, because I'm looking at myself and I'm saying, don't stress so much. Okay. I don't do it on purpose. My body does it on my mind. Everything does it all on its own. I'm just here. I think so, Janet. Oh, I think I have to sneeze. Oh, this is awkward. Or is it going to be one of those? Oh, a lot of dust from moving all the stuff, But I did get to go through some things, too. But I was like, don't get stuck on looking through stuff. Let's just go. Okay, yeah. Leanne's going to get it for you, Janice. Janet, I'm sorry. There it is. There it is. Wait, it jumped. Anyways, So what do y'all think about those? I'm gonna have to read those, the state's motions and all that court jazz. That's how I comprehend. When I read things, it's just a lot. That was like 23 minutes of hardcore robot reading, but you got to take it where you can. And so I appreciate y'all, bearing with me through that, because I know it sucks listening to a robot voice, but I get tired. So, and I botched, I tend to stutter step. But anyways, so I wanna play that as I go out, like as I say bye. I want to play that video again, the one that I started in the beginning. Just let me know, really glean on it, if you will, if you'll do that, and let me know what you think in the comments below, or Patreon or Discord. I'm just now starting I don't know yet. I haven't even done it yet, really. Facebook group, Facebook. I'm kind of teeter-tottering with that right now. So just bear with me, and we'll whip this puppy into shape, and we'll get justice for these victims. Right? So thank you for being here. Thank you, Trace on the Case. Thank you, Carol, also. And for everybody who has signed the petitions, that link is down in the description box below. Be sure, if you will, do me a favor and hit the like button, whatever, the like button, and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. It really does help. It really does help. It'll extend the voice. That's how I see it. The bigger the voice, the stronger the reach. You know what I'm saying. The reader guy. I know I should have did Snoop Dogg. I should have. And yeah. Well, anyways, all right. Thank you so much for being here. And I told Jason I'm just gonna stop even preparing for these things, because I mean, just like that, especially right now with the poop throwing, they're starting to be like the monkeys. All right. Oh yeah, we're almost there. Hey, Ellie or Eli, I forget. Sorry. Good to see you though. Irene, you too. T.S. Jackson 72, Carrie Ann, Rhonda, Haunted. Kathy told me about a song by Eminem. She read the lyrics to me a little bit, and I was like, ooh, that's deep. I forget the name of the song, so sorry. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna play this as we say goodbye. As soon as I figure out what I'm doing. Not that. This one. Share this one. I think I'm hidden behind this, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. Good night, guys. Love always wins. Justice for Tylee, Charles, Tammy, JJ, and Joe. See you guys next time. What if I told you that Lori Vallow's beliefs aren't just hers? What if I told you that translated beings is taught in the Mormon Church? What if I told you the Church of the Firstborn is the cause for every offshoot of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints? What if I told you that everything that we have heard in the media is from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints? Would you view Chad and Lori Daybell any differently? Would Charles, Tammy, JJ, Tylee, and Joseph still be here today? Love you guys. Thank you. It means the world. I always see this face when nobody believes him. Okay, I'm gonna cry. Love you guys. Have a good night.